And there's a saying in recovery, you're only as sick as your secrets. I feel like America is desperately ill and sick to the core. And it's our secrets. And this is what I think. I don't think this is all, for me, I think the original sin of this coup that's happened the day they shot JFK in front of all of us and put us into a trauma programming kind of mindset. And everything since then, because if you look back to what happened with JFK, and Fletcher Prouty, at least, who helped Garrison, the only person who had the guts to go out and try to charge our own government for being involved. Fletcher Prouty said, you have to look at why they killed him, who benefited, and then even bigger, who benefited from the cover-up. And I feel like it's been one cover-up after another cover-up after another cover-up, because when he went in something I read that he wrote, he said that everyone at the Pentagon and the FBI and basically the executive branch knew that the Warren report was a lie. And they knew that what really happened. A lot of people did, but the senior executive service and other ones just went forward as if they didn't know. So if the original sin is all these people, then think about hiring people to keep replacing people, but the goal is always to continue burying the truth. And now we're at a place where we have decades of lies and cover-ups and false flags and CIA black ops, and they're continually covering up, and we haven't seen no one brought to justice. We've had no transparency, and I just think that it's this same group. I don't think it's everyone, but I think it's this core group, and it's always about covering up, the next covering up, who's benefiting from the cover.
Generations of war crimes against ourselves and all that stuff just to get to JFK.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, there's so much more even before that. But what a wonderful way of putting it. We're only as sick as our secrets. And boy, do we have a lot. We have a lot of this is fucked up,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. But the truth of the matter is that, we the people are the only answer. Thank God for shows like yours and other shows, and we have lots of mutual friends that do this, because now we actually have a shot. Because this is a real problem. This is the disinformation, misinformation, all of this. And you know this, and I know this, that this is not new. Obama had a disinformation, misinformation czar named Cass Sonstein. His wife, scarily enough, is running USAID, one of the operations that does this all over the world. And I firmly believe all those people are still manipulating, and that we in America are in a color revolution, and we need to realize that and look at it for what it is and stand up and say no. And that's why I'm saying I've changed so much over this journey, but if we are going to continue, this is why I say Americans Anonymous, you got to take off your red and your blue and throw your ego and leave it at the door and go in the church basement and walk in there and say,
drink the cheap coffee.
Yeah. And say, you know what, in this room, we're all on the same team. We're all trying to recover. We're trying to save our futures individually first, and our families first, and then all together, society as a whole. I feel like America needs a recovery. The hardest part is the first step, which is admitting that there's a problem and admitting that you are the problem. And I think we're in a great place to actually say, this forcing of being on two sides is a big problem, and it's getting worse. And I say to people, if you take a pen to paper and you write down how you feel about everything, where we are, where we're going, our family, our future, you're not going to feel like you identify with either of these groups we're being forced to choose.
No, definitely not. I feel like we're at Jones Beach right now, and there's a bunch of little shits kicking sand in our face, and we're like, where the fuck are the parents?
Right. Oh yeah, totally.
What the hell is this?
I know that feeling.
Where are your
Yeah.
I'm just getting so upset.
Yeah, I know, but this is also where I think we have a shot, because I do believe, especially because I have been on the road in town, and then we ask, like, what's the local hangout? We don't want the nicest restaurant. We don't want that. We want to go where we know people will be, kind of like the Cheers of the area, and we'll go sit at the bar and we'll talk. I have yet in 2.5 years sit down next to people that don't know that DC and our government is totally not for the people, is a disaster. They don't know what to do, but they know something's very wrong. And this is from all walks of life, every level, every division. And then 2, that people sit there and say, well, what can we do? We can do nothing. Well, right now, what we can do is to stop acting like there's nothing we can do, and start acting like you talked about. You talk a lot about getting involved locally. You talked about you have a family member who is on a school board now. So we are seeing a lot of that. And I also think left of center and right of center, if you take away like the issues that they continue to divide us with, really agree on a lot more. And diversity is being obviously, transformed into what we do agree on is really what makes America strong.
Have you any idea how successful censorship is on TV? Don't know the answer? Successful, isn't it?
You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up. Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line. That's why we're going back. Does anybody else want to stay? Let's rock!